Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me, I have not broke eye contact with her since we started, is my lovely wife, co-host, CFO, and overall great gal in a floral pattern today.
Hey there.
Melissa Nickerson, above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa, as well as producer Andy Lara is here, everybody in the house, his 7 children, his 25 livestock.
I kept them. I rented a bunch for Christmas and then just kept them all in my backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. 'Tis the season.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the 3 wise men.
Tis the season. If you want to know what today is December 27th? 7th, when this is coming out. Christmas is over.
Tear it all down.
Tear it all down.
Yep.
Now it's in the last year purgatory between Christmas and New Year, where you're like, what is happening?
So what
next?
we're going to do on this podcast today, the plan for here is I have a list of holiday crap I want us to get rid of and never do again. Not just our family. I'm just saying in general.
Dustin cancels Christmas.
Dustin cancels Christmas. And then we've got a bunch of holiday horror stories. This is your episode today, everybody.
Today's episode is about the people.
It's about the people. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I wanted to tickle you.
People.
I've been so lonely. Andy, could we have the room?
Listen,
but keep the cameras on.
I wasn't lonely because my cat got sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah.
Just putting out fires left and right.
Yeah, and you also got cussed out by one of your children, but
not
the one you guessed. Not the one you
going?
guessed. Well, she probably raised some good points. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's some things that people like about us. You guys have been leaving some reviews. 5 stars. This is from Tracy L. Self. The perfect, lighthearted podcast. Except for last episode.
I was going to say Santa warning, Mel starts crying.
Yeah, the perfect, heavy-hearted, broken-hearted podcast. Marriage and parenting can be so heavy. Well, there you go. Popping this podcast in my ears has become a break I look forward to every week. Sorry about last week, Tracy. I always laugh and I always feel like I can make it one more day dealing with ludicrous kids after I hear Dustin and Mel laugh about their own parenting woes. Thanks for sharing with the rest of us who are in the trenches, from a millennial mom, ministry wife, and fellow renter. Don't you get the parish or something? Is that how it works? I don't know.
Sometimes.
Also, come catch me on tour, everybody. Let's see. It's this weekend is going to be Indianapolis for New Year's. January, we've got Brooklyn, KC, St. Louis, Philly, and then the rest of the year, Portland, D.C., Grand Rapids, Spokane, Seattle, Syracuse, Rutherford, New Jersey, Fort Collins, Colorado, Des Moines, Naples, Tampa, Dana Beach, San Diego, Huntsville, Nashville.
What's going on with this?
That's well, you know what? I get them wrong. I say it wrong every week. I'm
It's
human.
not easy.
I bleed blood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a human out here.
Yep. Are you human or are you dancer?
Oh my God. Are you human?
More human than human.
What's that?
More human than human?
Yes. The product. Not a bad Christmas sound. Couple good Christmas songs. The Sleigh Bell. The Killers have a couple good Christmas songs.
The Killers?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know this.
Yeah. Pull it up. Christmas Killers. I think it's like a sleigh ride or something. And then they have like
We have a couple that are.
What are we? A Great Big Sled. Put that on. Oh, Don't Shoot Me Santa's good too. But oh my gosh, Joseph, better you than me. I mean, this is the Killers. Yeah. Mel likes this one.
Definitely the Killers.
I highly recommend Killers Christmas for next year because Christmas is over. Are you sure it's the Killers?
The Killers and Tony Holiday.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
You heard it on the
Dustin. Yeah.
They're Vegas.
Yeah. They are Vegas.
They are the absolute.
The snowman is shaping up to be an 8, but not out of 10.
I mean, come on.
10.
The robots are waiting.
It's still.
Even Brandon is going harder after what the Killers sounded like. This is like 2017. He's like, hey guys, let's do a Killers song.
It's still pouty.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Of action toys for brain. I'm living proof it can last a long
We'll
time.
finish here.
Now the girls up the street are innocent and sweet.
How have you missed this? I thought you. How have you missed Killer's Christmas?
Makeup.
Inside their heads. But tonight,
We've done Christmas in Vegas, so we've listened to this a few times. You know.
their mother's praying will last a long
Here we
time.
go. Killer's Heart. Here we
I
go.
wanna roll around like a kid in the snow. I wanna
The song we needed.
This is what you did last episode. Here we go.
just let me take flight, dressed in red through the night.
So funny. The bitsy thing.
Sleigh.
Anyways, it's very
That's
good.
great. I got it.
Wish you Merry Christmas.
I gotta hear this. I haven't heard this.
Red Flowers is so. Happy
haven't heard
birthday,
this either.
Guadalupe.
Oh, this is great.
Oh my gosh, Christmas in LA, The Killers in Dawes?
Is this not a Christmas song? Is this...
No, I'm just saying the next one is Christmas in LA. We were just talking about Dawes. All right, we got to get to this podcast. This is great stuff.
Oh, it's gonna get sad real fast.
Well, I mean, Christmas in LA is already the saddest thing I've ever heard. Why is there Spanish guitar in here?
Woke up to sun streaming in my room.
Okay, turn this off. There'll be a time. There'll be a time that I get in.
Led by the Killers.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Anyways, we're off the rails already, guys.
Yeah.
They got to get
We
this
should've
sled back
never-
on the rails, but
We should
I-
never let these guys get music.
we would do we would do the whole. Yeah, that's right. This was a mistake. We
Yeah.
should have never tuned in.
Angie and Dustin.
Hey, you guys, shoot us. Please put on the Facebook group, which you can join. It's in the description, and or email us at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com. Just 2 words: more music, less music. That's all. Just if you want more, great. If you give us full permission to go off the rails, know what this is a Pandora's box. It might actually be Pandora. That way.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it
That's
back.
going to be the title of the podcast.
Yeah.
Or the new podcast, Pandora's Box.
Yeah. There are, listen, that's actually a fitting thing because now that Christmas is over, I think that we can, the Christmas music, I bring this up to you every year. There are a couple Christmas songs and things that gotta go for me.
Mhm.
One is Bing Crosby. I'm done with Bing. I'm not going to get into the details.
Yeah.
This is a family podcast. Just do a little research about Bing Crosby and his kids, and then hear if you want to hear him sing the holiday tunes. Nat King Cole, I'll just give you good. Nat King Cole, Johnny Cash, Andy Williams, Stevie Wonder. There are so many full good Christmas albums out there. Whatever song he did of yours, there's a better version of him. I'm so anti it. I won't even do the. I don't do any of it. I don't like any of it. So first to go for me, Bing Crosby is out of my rotation.
Okay.
Also, what we all know is the dumbest Christmas song, "The Little Drummer Boy." I hate this song. There's no parent alive that supports The Little Drummer Boy as a song.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest premise. It's not in the Bible, and it's the stupidest addition to the birth of Christ you could ever add. Why is there percussion after a baby was born? Who
Yeah,
was
and
this
then
for?
Suddenly the animals are keeping time.
Why did...
This doesn't even make sense.
Is the birth of Christ not a miracle enough? Did we need to add a drummer? Why is there a little drummer?
Why is he little?
Why is he little? Why are the ox and the lamb keeping time?
Yeah.
This is the dumbest. There are a lot of dumb extra stories around Christmas. To add a drummer at the nativity scene is to a mom who just gave birth to an infant.
Yeah, it's a manger. There's no musical instruments.
If The Little Drummer Boy is a true story, then it goes... If The Little Drummer Boy was a true story and there is indeed someone drumming the night that a baby was born, then now the night has a new baby and a dead little drummer boy. Because Mary...
Who's caring for this child? Why is he out?
Why is he out?
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Mary would have unswaddled Christ and strangled the drummer.
Joseph's like, hold on, babe. I got a surprise.
Yeah.
Hold on. Drum solo.
Drum solo.
She needs food and sleep.
Sleep.
And that's it.
Get the drummer out of the nativity scene. There's no drummer.
No.
There's no drummer. It's the dumbest thing.
I want to buy the nativity scene with a Tommy Lee roll cage inside of it.
Hey, you see that sleeping baby right there? You know what would be nice? Drums. Actually, it's not even just a snare, it's the full kit, like you said. Yeah. Hit the splash on 4. Oh my God. So I want the little drummer boy out. That one's out.
Yeah.
Also, baby, it's cold outside. Stop.
Oh, yeah.
So date rapey.
So much so.
It doesn't.
And there's so many other songs. We can just remove it.
Yeah. Also, any sexualized Santa stuff.
Santa baby.
Santa baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
I think that
I want a car, so I'll sleep with you. It's the
I'm
weirdest.
gonna do anything to get a gift.
Also, who's the Santa lingerie for? Who's listen, I'm not trying to shame anybody. Whose engine is that revving? Hey, I want to see my wife in some old man outfit.
Hey, put on that huge furry red coat.
Yeah,
Black belt.
what happened in your childhood that you're mixing that? What's going on? I mean, listen, we all got complicated wiring.
Try to lift that big bag of toys.
Yeah. Hey, just
Sexy Santa.
yeah.
It's a whole genre.
It's I've never understood that one. You know, like there's certain like fantasies or whatever. Well, again, we're a family podcast here, but I don't know who's like, hey, I want my wife to look like Santa.
It's a holiday genre.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, nah, like her.
Red Velvet.
Like an old fat man with a beard. I like her. Honey, I got you the beard too. Put the beard on.
A realistic Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, get rid of the Rudolph story.
Yeah.
I don't like the Rudolph story.
Actually, I read the origins of it. Yeah.
Well, here I would love to
So-
correct you. As far as my telling, my understanding,
That's okay.
my
Get rid of it.
understanding, as a parent of children with disabilities,
Yeah.
I read that story as Rudolph tells us the story that it's okay to be different, provided a man in power can exploit that difference. They will not make
100%.
you can
100%.
play in the games after you're useful. As soon as a man in power
Mhm.
can properly exploit you, then now we accept you. What an important
Well,
lesson to
but
teach
that-
children.
That man in power made Christmas happen.
Yeah, and you only got to be a part of it
'Cause
once you
you're-
stopped being weird and now you were
Yeah.
useful weird.
I know. I'm not defending Santa here. I just, according to the internet, that guy wrote that story to make his daughter happy while his wife died of cancer.
Oh gosh.
So it was like a sweet, cheery
Remember that
story.
review I just read about how we were the lighthearted fun pot?
I really
You guys,
tanked
Mel
this.
is in her
I
moody
really
Christmas.
tanked it. Just
Blue
that out.
Christmas.
cut that out.
Okay. Next thing. This is okay. Well, you got me. This one I know you'll agree with. Okay. Things to cut out for next Christmas. How about Okay, this one you're gonna be on board with. Yeah. Hey, it's okay to send a Christmas card without listing your children's achievements in it. Congratulations.
Victorians.
Yeah. Congratulations. I know the kid didn't ask for this because the kid doesn't know what a Christmas card is. Your child doesn't know what the mail is.
We all have voracious readers. We just don't tell everyone.
Yeah. It is okay
I'm
for
kidding,
your
we
child
are.
to achieve something and it not to make the Christmas card. I don't know what you're expecting us to like when you list the achievement of your child in the Christmas card or letter. Are you expecting us to read it and be like, "Wow, what a child!
You're an awesome
What a
parent.
That's
You're
what
a
they
great
want."
Yeah, what
Well-
a family. Little Taylor started eating hard food.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd love.
I guess it's just hard because when you're not your achievements. That's what you're trying to teach your children
Yeah.
and yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more than my achievements.
Mhm.
And when you do that, it's nice because it's like a hook to like hang on. You're like, I got a valedictorian. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know if I'm saying that word right. Like, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, thank God I got
Yeah.
one. You know, and that's fantastic. But like, life is not guaranteed. You know, like,
Jeez, Mel.
I'm sorry. Okay, just cut it out.
No, it's all kind of.
I'm sorry.
Just keep in mind, everybody.
I'm
that
sorry.
No, just
The existential.
in real time, guys. It's not Christmas yet for Mel and I. It's still the day after I got home for. So if you remember
can
last
redo
week,
this.
no, there's no need. I want this to stay in. If you want to know, like, the energy that we had at the end of last episode where Mel broke down beautifully, so I would say that was 30 minutes ago. So.
I guess just in general, you just have to keep everything in check. Like, I think it can be really difficult to put on a child like, he's the smart one, she's the funny one, she's the artist. Like,
Right.
Because then kids have to like live into those
Mhm.
stereotypes or achievement based.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, I'm not smart anymore. I'm not funny anymore. Who am I? You know, I don't know.
I'm still in my dark phase.
Just
for what it's
workshopping
worth.
here.
No, I'm listening to all of this, but it doesn't feel like
Sorry.
it doesn't feel like it's for the audience. It feels it's for Mel.
Forgive me.
No. You just gotta journal this, Mel. I think you gotta.
This is my journal.
I think Mel's gotta make some calls.
Dude.
Just trying to go on a rant about
I know. I'm
the
sorry.
Rudolph, and you're like,
back.
actually, they lost their child. Jeez, Mel.
I honestly, this is all too much for me. I think we need to cancel candy canes.
Yeah. Let's get into some holiday horror stories. That's what we're going for the next 30 minutes. Love you, babe.
All right, like, I'm going to stop talking.
No, don't stop talking. Don't stop till you get enough. And then don't stop. Okay,
I do have a holiday horror story, but
we're
we
not
don't-
sharing ours.
No, great. I've shared
we've
enough.
been-
I've shared-
we've been
honestly, I've shared too much,
Yeah.
and let's just listen to someone else.
We asked you
Tell
guys to
us.
send some emails to dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com
Mm-hmm.
and to share some holiday horror stories. So we're going to commiserate for the next 30 minutes together. Ready? This one's from Daniel. Daniel's a friend of the podcast.
Hey, Daniel.
This is called 2 Holiday Horror Stories, but I'm only going to read one. All right, we ready?
Love it. Okay.
One Christmas, my brother-in-law got a new 4-wheeler. We took it to our grandparents' home for everyone to enjoy. I was too young to drive it alone, so my dad would ride with me. While driving at night, I thought we were missing our road, so I sharply turned the handlebars. This threw my dad off and rolled the AT over my face. Oh, my gosh. It was so dark he couldn't find me until I let out a whimper. Oh, my gosh. Why this holiday so sick?
no.
I didn't read these in advance.
Oh, no.
My face was covered in a combination of dirt, gravel, and blood. My dad sustained cracked ribs. Sadly, my Smurf glasses were never found. I later told everything that it was my dad's fault because he should have known better than to let me drive. Every holiday thing that I keep trying to bring up in a lighthearted way keeps turning very sad on me.
Okay, but
No, I don't.
Daniel is alive and well.
Yes.
Now he's a father himself.
Yeah.
So that's the positive spin.
Yeah. It's great.
We asked for these, Dustin.
We did.
We asked for these.
Listen, I'm not running from feelings. I'm just letting them ride. And for whatever reason, every holiday thing around me, usually I'm the sad one at Christmas. I think it's
Yeah.
just I've been too busy to be sad. This was supposed to be my sad week. And then, but the world around me had pre-satted. Christmas is such a bummer. It's great, but it is. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we go.
It's a lot.
Funny podcast about family. Here we go. This is from Bonnie. Bonnie's a friend of the
Bonnie.
podcast. It says holiday horror, and then in parentheses, 1 syllable. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Context. My husband is the youngest of 3 boys. They are 15 and 12 years older than me. Many years ago, both of my brothers-in-law were were in the middle of a contentious divorces.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
It's a funny word.
This is the
Contentious.
realest podcast we've ever had.
Divorces.
Going into the holidays, both were in midlife crisis, rebound, revenge relationships.
Oh, boy.
I told my husband, since I was hosting and our niece and nephews would be there, that out of respect for the kids, that their dads were not to bring their dates to the family Christmas dinner.
No.
Needless to say, my one asked and was ignored and walked one girlfriend who was 19 years old and dressed like a naughty elf. And the other, a little bit later, 20 years old in an outfit that left nothing to the imagination.
Oh, my God.
Both brothers had their kids with them. My niece spent the whole time in our room crying. My older nephew was enjoying the view and wasn't being subtle about it. And my little nephew was fortunately too little to know what was going on while naughty elves gave lap dances. Merry Christmas. Oh, well.
I don't think you can top that.
No, I mean, that's unbelievable. That's so good, Bonnie. It's so funny. Thank you for the email, Bonnie. We're moving along. These are so good. Okay, this one is from James. Here we go.
Hi, James.
James, also a friend of the podcast out in Portland. I did a gig for him years ago. Here we go. Subject, my Christmas. Okay, the highlights. Christmas Day flight to Disneyland from Portland. This is the start. Here we go. 2 days before Christmas, snow in Portland. Shuts down city, as always. 2 days of flights canceled. Flight finally starts, taking off Christmas Eve. 7-year-old finds out Christmas morning about trip. Noon, head to the airport for 2 p.m. flight. Flight delayed till 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, realize we're not going to make our connecting flight. 4:10, figuring out how we get to San Jose from Anaheim. Oh, yeah, did mention this was a Southwest at the beginning of their nationwide meltdown. This was last year, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Start to question life choices for millionth time. Throw pity party to celebrate. 5 p.m. Realization that dinner in an airport on Christmas Day is highly improbable and impossible. 6 p.m. Still no flight. 7 p.m. Flight canceled. 7:30. Rent a car. Start driving down I-5 South. 1 a.m. Arrive in Medford or at hotel. Oh my gosh, that's not very far. They did not make a lot of progress. 6 a.m. Leave hotel with breakfast in mind. Thanks to nice staff taking pity. 6:05, first 3 stops of various Dutch brothers on I-5. 6:10, 7-year-old figures out how to hook internet connection from dad's iPhone to her tablet. 10 hours of YouTube viewing begins. 11 a.m., random lunch at NorCal, In-N-Out. 4 p.m., after a gas stop at Fresno, tire air indicator goes on.
Oh,
4:05, put air in tire. 4:30, light comes back on. Houston, we have a problem. 4:45, stop north of Lancaster. Call rental car agency. 6 p.m., tow truck arrives. 6:05, try to explain to a 7-year-old that tow truck ride isn't as cool as she thinks. 7 p.m., get new rental car in Fresno. Gosh, they've only made it to Fresno. Backtracking for an entire hour. 7:30, car 2.0 begins trip to Anaheim. 8 p.m., grouchy mom, grumpy dad, and overtired child can't agree on dinner. 3 different drive-thrus later, the trip resumes. 1 a.m., arrive at hotel in Anaheim. 6 a.m., return rental car. 7 a.m., breakfast. 8 a.m., Disneyland. And they live happily ever after. Well, except that it rained for 80% of the rest of the trip, and we rebooked with another airline. LOL. A doozy. No.
Wow.
Oh. That is a day.
That is a track.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Yeah, we've had our
we've
versions of
Done
that.
that drive. Whew.
No good deed.
Oh,
No good
man.
deed goes unpunished, as they say.
That 5 p.m., 6 p.m. at the airport, that is very real.
Yeah, sad. You're just trying to surprise your kid.
Yeah.
Trying to take your kid to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of those. The holidays will really kind of make you question, like, man, God.
There's just so many variables that can go wrong.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Holiday travel
bottom
stressful.
line. Yeah.
That's yeah. Here we go.
Weather. Whew.
All right, next one. Subject: holiday horror story. This is from Isaac, who's a patron.
Oh, hey, Isaac.
Serves in the Coast Guard. He says, my holiday horror story comes from when I was stationed in Hawaii in my last full year there in 2022. I had plans to be home for Christmas and New Year's, as did other siblings of mine who lived outside of Oregon. I had booked my flight about a month and a half beforehand so that prices weren't as bad and I could get the top tier seating that I wanted. Newsflash, the best seat on the plane other than the first class is an exit row in the aisle seat. But I digress. Of course, yeah. Up until 2 days before my flight leaves, I had not been worried about the flight being canceled. It's just never happened to me. But that year, there was the severe weather conditions, if you guys remember. Harsh winds, freezing rain, and just bad weather. I was nervous, but not too scared. I mean, after all, Hawaii can't ever get frozen rain. It's Hawaii. My little brain hadn't caught on to the dangerous probability of the fact that SeaTac or PDX could most likely have their runways frozen. And before my sister leaves for Oregon, roughly the same day I'm supposed to leave, her flight in Colorado gets canceled. Now I was feeling the heat, or rather the freeze, as I began to realize I might not make it either. And not an hour later, my flight gets canceled. 4 hours before I'm supposed to leave. I end up going to the airport anyways, bags packed in hope of finding some sort of flight to get me home. After standing in line for Alaska Airlines for about an hour, I finally get to the clerk, and mind you, this is after hearing the airport staff for Alaska Airlines tell us that flights are canceled and we might have to find different flights home. I looked at other potential flights just to see if there was something better, but I held on to hope first that I could find a solution. As I said, I had gotten to the clerk, and a long story longer, he found me a flight the next day, meaning I would get in Christmas Day around 8 a.m. at PDX. These are all Portland Christmas problems. Mm-hmm. But something in me decided to keep asking about additional flights. At first, I thought it was the 4 Hot Pockets I ate out of nervousness. So after asking 3 more times if there were other flights with a small layover, red eyes, airports close to the Portland International, anything to get me home sooner. The clerk found one, a flight to the Big Island with a 3-hour layover, and then a direct flight to Seattle where I could arrive at 11:40 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I almost gave the clerk a kiss, but I restrained myself and thanked him and headed to security, another hour line, and then finally my gate where I waited another 3 hours before I left Oahu. During this time, I had coordinated with my dad, who ended up meeting me at the airport in Seattle with my sister, and we started the 4-hour car ride back home, where I was able to spend Christmas with opening presents with my family. A holiday horror story turned into a Christmas miracle. I love the podcast, guys. Keep it up, and don't worry, I will be back as an Essential Oils patron as soon. Cheers, Isaac. P.S. Tell Steven I miss his jokes. No offense, Andy. That's your holiday horror story right there.
Yeah, thanks.
Holiday travel, man. It's no joke.
I can't believe his family picked him up in Seattle.
I know.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can believe that. You wouldn't go get your son? I was hoping we could talk more about Joel.
I'd like to start crying again.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Woo, there is like just a lot of like home for... You know what? The Ducks have a great logo too. I'm sorry that I forgot that. Back to 2 episodes ago, I just got distracted by his sticker there. Also, a great... You see it right there, Mel?
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
that is a hockey mask. I love and the...
You love hockey logo.
It's the old logo,
I love hockey
unfortunately.
logos.
I mean, it's the old logo, but which we all wanted them to go back to.
Hockey logos, I don't think they have like the best jerseys because they're so big. They have to be. Like wearing a hockey jersey is awful. I mean, it works.
It's like a dress.
I disagree with that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm not a fan of them, but the logos themselves, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that being said, we bought your dad a Kraken jersey
Yeah, I mean, I think when
You
you're
know,
watching the game,
for his birthday.
but listen, a jersey outside of this watching the game in general is not a great look. What am I talking about? Football,
Yeah.
same thing. It's just the shape of them.
I almost wore my jersey today.
Yeah,
I almost did. I was thinking about it just because I wanted to.
Yeah,
And I was
well-
like, I don't, you know.
that would have been my holiday horror story. Is you wearing that jersey.
Isn't it?
Before we get back to holiday horror stories, you were talking about. We were talking about this came to mind because they're all Christmas themed right now. But Gen Z's commitment to comfort is probably most represented in that they're all wearing pajamas every day, all the time.
Mm-hmm. So it's high schoolers and middle schoolers. And then our 4th grader was like, so we can just wear pajamas now?
I don't know if it's COVID or if it's a Gen Z thing, but this crop of teenagers has a commitment to pajamas that is unrivaled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Our 8th grader now has her high school's pajama pants.
Yeah.
And what's cooler than that? I'm almost a high schooler, and here are my high school pajama pants.
Yeah. No, the irony of, I mean, we wore like sweats and there was like pajama days and stuff like that.
There was some pajama wearing in early 2000s.
This current crop of teenagers, every day is the Spirit Day pajama day. Every single day, it's just a different brand, a different style of pajamas.
Some mom friends and we decided we're all for it because that is more coverage than low-rise jeans. So
you
fine with it.
Yeah, don't complain about it because the alternative when they were our age was a low-rise jeans and a thong. So enjoy the
we're gonna take it. We're gonna
enjoy the pajamas.
Pajama era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got it.
I think it might be a COVID thing. I think that they're like, listen, you made us be homeschooled for a year, and we were in our pajamas then, so we got to go back, but we're at least going to wear our pajamas still.
I think athleisure is so popular.
That is not athleisure. Pajama pants are not athleisure.
No, let me
just leisure.
Let me just try this. Okay, sweatsuits, like matching sets, those can be like $200.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Right.
And so what I mean is like if you can pull that off, like a matching sweatsuit, then you can pull off pajama pants.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's in the same vein.
Yeah.
Of like
well, that's what's great about pajamas is they're easy to pull off. Easy to put on, easy to pull off. I'm all for it. Yeah.
Oversized, boxy fashion, sure.
If it ain't baggy, it ain't swaggy.
Yeah.
As the children say.
So, our son resells.
Yeah.
So,
these kids are, these kids are all about mid, and you guys were all about midriff. No, midriff's back.
Midriff is
Midriff.
back.
Midriff is back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, midriff is mid. Kids, cover up.
It's cool to cover up.
Look at me, kids. Showing your midriff is mid.
Just a PSA from your Uncle Dustin.
Showing midriff is mid.
It's cool to be comfortable.
Can you, that is like the definition of youth. Like when you feel so confident about your body that you're like, dude, even my belly button looks good.
Oh, yeah. That's the height of youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you're like,
I'm
dude.
going to get it pierced because it looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you're like, I want to go out in a blanket. I want to go get me a walkable sleeping bag. I want
the longest sweater.
I want as much flattering coverage as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The higher the waist, the better.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even better, I don't want to get out of my car. Just I want to be fully enclosed at all times. Just nobody see me. Nobody look at me. Like being so young that you're like, dude, my belly button looks good. Yeah, guys. I'm just like, check out my armpits. What? You're wearing a tank top? The definition of youth is having confidence in your belly button and your armpits and feeling like people would want to see that.
Yeah. I know.
I would what I want as an adult, it's like a middle-aged adult, what I want is a tent with leg holes and eyes cut out.
You want your Grimace costume.
I want a costume. I want to walk in a full costume around that people like seeing, that I can just make people happy when they see me. Just as much coverage as possible, man.
All the angles.
Yeah.
Covered.
Wrap me in like 8 tires. Michelin Man.
Michelin Man.
I want to be the Michelin Man. Every day, I just want us all to dress up as the Michelin Man.
Comfortable, covered.
Comfortable, covered.
Cosplay just becomes a
Yeah.
display.
Yeah.
Maybe you
life
just want to
play.
wear like themed onesies. You know, like
Yes.
baggy.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
Baggy zip up fleece onesies.
Oh, to be young again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Young and carefree.
yeah.
Yep.
I can't. As I get old, I can't cover up enough skin. I'm wearing.
You're wearing full black.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. I have extra socks on in case these slip off. I got backup. That's not true, but.
But don't show up in a hockey jersey.
Hey.
Now that is tacky.
Callback. Okay. It is a funny switch, yeah. It is interesting that midriff's back, though. Everything's so cyclical. It all comes back, you know?
New into the sun.
Next is lower back tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, mine never went away. I'm just kidding, I don't have one.
When your kid
Mel's is
asks
great.
you for one, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Well,
a
Mel-
big star and then a bunch of little stars
Yeah.
coming out the sides.
Well, you've never seen it, but Mel's, thankfully, together, Mel put my name there, and thankfully it worked out, because that would have been awkward.
What's it? Barbed wire.
Yeah,
Remember,
some
like,
tribal, some
Yeah.
barbed wire,
Maybe a rose.
with some
Yeah.
thorns.
some butterflies.
Yeah. Some Japanese symbols.
Yes. Incorrectly interpreted Japanese
Yeah.
symbols.
All right. Next up,
Those are next.
holiday
You're right,
stories.
Andy. You called it. You called it.
Wait.
Mm.
Just wait. Okay, this one's from William. Subject, holiday horror story. Dustin and Melissa. Here's a holiday story for you. In 3rd grade, I contracted, cellulitis?
Yes.
Yeah, cellulitis on the bottom of my feet. I don't want to Google that. I certainly don't want to
I don't
Google
know
image
what
that.
is, but let's just keep reading
We got to figure out what cellulitis.
for
I'm not
context clues. I'm not looking, Dustin.
a deep bacterial infection of the skin.
Oh boy.
I'm not. I didn't want to look at the pictures. Maybe we'll see. I never found out how it happened, but basically my feet were so inflamed and pain that I could not walk.
Oh.
Well, this happened right before Christmas, and I was due to be in my church's Sunday school Christmas program. While I don't remember what role I had, what I do remember is that instead of being in a wheelchair or something more normal, one of my high school students carried me around during the program, which was super embarrassing. I remember feeling like a little baby, and I was already super self-conscious at that point in my life. On top of that, I had to take horse pill antibiotics, which I had trouble swallowing.
no.
It's truly a crappy Christmas memory. Can't wait to hear the other holiday horror stories. Thanks for keeping us listeners entertained. Billy, woo!
Now, I just feel like maybe he could have sat on the sideline and cheered for his.
I know, but
Sunday
that's the
school
thing.
class.
People don't offer you those solutions, and then they just throw this
Carries you
situation out
around.
on you. Yeah. You're like, I guess this is the option.
Oof.
Good stuff. This one's from Eric, another friend of the podcast.
Hey,
Subject
Eric.
HHS.
Mhm.
Good morning, Dustin and Melissa. Real quick holiday horror story since it's that time of year. This pertains to possibly the worst gift ever given in our household.
Okay.
My dad is not known for giving good gifts. It was the early 2000s, and we were doing family gifts on Christmas Eve. My dad reached for a present for my mom and hesitated. He looked at her and said, "I went off book for this one." I went off book
my
on this one.
gosh, What's it gonna
With
be?
a sly smile on his face, this immediately got our attention. My mom physically hesitated when she received the gift. She opened the gift carefully. When she opened a box, her eyes got wide and had a look of complete shock and horror on her face. She held up the gift, and it was a purple jumpsuit/windsuit, the kind that would swish every time that you moved your arms and legs. She looked in shock and said, "I don't know what to say. I never would have bought this." My dad serious says, "That good?" My mom looks at him straight in the eyes and said, "Oh no, it's definitely not that." From that point on, anytime someone gives a gift in our family that might be a dud, we have to say, "I went off book on this one."
Aw.
Happy holidays, and
That's
thanks for all
amazing.
y'all do. The podcast makes my drives to and from work more enjoyable. That's great. Listen, they had an era.
Yeah, that's Tim Hawkins has the song about buying his wife a treadmill for like an anniversary gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like gifts
Things-
can be
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Yep.
It's like I saw a lot of gift guides that were like, put a nose hair trimmer in your husband's stocking.
Oh, yeah. We'd love that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing up my nose hair on Christmas.
Oh, what a nice time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, couple more. This is a repeat. It's that good.
Okay.
I think we've had this one before.
Yeah, Scott reminded me. He's like, you know about mine, and I'm like, no, Scott, retell it.
Retell it.
It's
good. This one's from Scott. Here we go. Dearest Nickersons, sparklers are so fun. They're generally safe. You can spell your name in the air with them, and throwing them around is pure joy for an 11-year-old. While watching the Orange Bowl on New Year's night, I got a little bored. While my parents stayed inside, I walked to the back of the porch and lit a sparkler or two and watched them burn because in the 80s as an 11-year-old, that was a high-risk, top-shelf adrenaline rush. Then I got cocky, lit one, and threw it out in the backyard. It was so majestic. It was like a comet. It hit the ground and still sparked for about 10 seconds. Then I noticed the orange glow of an ember in the grass. Not wanting to get in trouble, I ran to blow it out. Of course, as an 11-year-old in his Hong Kong Phooey pajamas, underrated cartoon, in my opinion, I didn't realize what would happen as I projected a steady stream of oxygen into a hot ember lying in the dead December grass. Flames! I had flames. I ran in to get to the hose, still not wanting to disturb my dad from the game. He deserved a day off. Of course, the hose wouldn't reach. The small flame was now about 3 feet diameter circle. The flame not high and showy, but it was low and determined and spreading. Once it started to get into the Huey's yard, I thought my dad might get looped in. He sprinted like Usain Bolt's overweight cousin to the neighbors to grab their longer hose. It didn't take him long to let out a fire, not a full yell, but at least loud enough to rouse the now 4 yards it was affecting. More of a holler. Out comes Holly and Janet, our neighbors behind us, who my parents also explained to me were just really good friends. Oh, that's funny. 80s, baby. Who immediately called 911, realizing Dad was over his head, and by this wasn't going to end well. By the time the fire department arrived, hooked up and doused the raging wildfire, 6 backyards were totaled.
Oh my gosh.
All of the neighbors were really nice about it, except Holly. I haven't lit a sparkler since.
Scott.
That's
thank
really
you
funny.
for
Oh,
sharing
man.
that.
Oh, dropped a laptop.
I was thinking he had a Christmas tree gone wrong. Like a
Yeah.
I was thinking that was
There was something
fantastic,
to do with fires
which
that
is a
were
very
in
good
there.
Story. Carrie also has an ultimate one about a cake and slipping on an icy deck.
Yeah.
It's a very good story.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's funny. The same girl that when I think of holiday horror stories, it references one person. That's funny. She did have a fire in her backyard one time hanging out with her, but then 2 weeks later, New Year's Eve, I bring her to like our New Year's Eve party, and she has a full-on meltdown, like screaming at people, like massive something happens.
Yeah.
We end up driving her home. And my dad, it's like the only time in my life where he's actually told me, like, you know, son, I don't know. I think you might want to pass on this one.
First time offering relationship advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first is probably the only time that I probably
That's
took
hilarious.
that advice.
That's very funny. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you know, ours, like,
It's a bit of a red flag.
yeah, we kind of share a different horror story every week. You know what's interesting? I don't know if this speaks to my childhood that it was like good or there were so many crazy things happening that I don't like when a crazy story would happen. It didn't really stand out. You know, there's one that my mom tells a lot of where Butch and Jimmy, like had a night of drinking. And like Butch and Jimmy, my uncle, and his son Tater.
Wasn't it the night before Thanksgiving?
No, it was. I think it was either the night. It was either Christmas night or Thanksgiving night.
Right,
They
yeah.
had cooked the food, and then they stayed up late all night and ate every leftover. Like all the leftovers were gone by morning.
Yeah,
which
your
is
mom
not
has,
helpful.
Like a 3/4 of a turkey or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Butch and Tater would get after it. You've got Butch and
Yeah.
Tater and some Budweisers in them.
Mhm.
Whew. Say goodbye to whatever food is in the house. It's all gone.
My uncle tells a story of my grandpa who was just got completely blitzed at the Elks Lodge. He was a part of the old social clubs. And he came home completely hammered, and my grandma had locked all the doors. And
Yeah.
like my uncle was telling me, my grandpa was actually like knocking on his window trying to let him in. And my uncle wouldn't let him in. He's like,
Yeah.
Mom's gonna kill me. I can't let you in. He finally finds his way in and falls into the Christmas tree, knocks down the Christmas tree, decorations everywhere,
Oh
middle
my
of the
gosh.
night.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a
Nobody
good one.
wants to wake up to a Christmas tree.
Yeah,
now.
yep.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Andy. Merry Christmas, Mel.
We did it.
We did it. We got through another, I think we got through another year together. I mean, this is very
Sounds
much
like it. Yeah.
another, how do you think Christmas went in our house?
Oh.
Did we go to, how many times did you have to go to the beach? 3 times this year?
Maybe. A
What are
trip to
you
the
guys
beach on
doing? Are you guys
Christmas
staying home?
is the best.
Yeah, we're staying home.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I'm hoping my uncle from Texas comes out and get to cook together. Hoping for that.
Cool.
For that.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's low key.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, everybody. Well, Merry Christmas. Happy whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year's. See you on the road, everybody. Thanks
See you
for being
next year.
listeners. Really means a lot to us.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Want to give a special shout out to our Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patrons. Thanks so much for supporting this podcast, everybody. First off is Averill Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Bonnie Galindo,
Harry Teague,
Caroline Crimmins,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dan and Chelsea Morell,
Daniel Owens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Jason White,
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jessica Handherend,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Lara,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Carlson,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capen,
Stephen Mena.
and Tiffany Payne.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this podcast. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.